Coin Pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as Bitcoin beats S&P 500 in October as 40,000 Bitcoin price predictions flow in. Also, the Bitcoin price hits all-time highs across Argentina, Nigeria, and Turkey. Let's freaking go. Also in today's show, Binance founder CZ's fortune gets slashed by $12 billion while SBF is still at zero. Also in today's show, buy Bitcoin search queries on Google surge a whopping 826% in the United Kingdom. Also, breaking news, Cynthia Lummis leads the charge, calling for the Department of Justice action against Binance and Tether. Quoting Max Kaiser in response to this news, the Wall Street Journal story was quickly debunked. The allegations are risible. The only explanation is that Cynthia Lummis has been corrupted. Not surprising. She has never fully understood Bitcoin, and now we know she is a gun for hire for the fiat money terrorists and central bankers, the real terrorists. Sad, but not surprising. I will pray for her. Shout out to the high priest of Bitcoin. Also in today's show, breaking news, BlackRock takes the apparent next big step in the Bitcoin ETF. That's right, quoting Eric Balchunas, the ETF expert from Bloomberg, BlackRock stating in their recent spot Bitcoin ETF amendment that they are seeding the ETF in October. Don't want to read that much into it, but it is new info, not in the original filing, so it's noteworthy, especially because it's BlackRock. You're damn right. I'm going to be sharing BlackRock's Bitcoin game plan. And did you know that BlackRock CEO Larry Fink exactly 6 years ago said Bitcoin is an index of money laundering? Now Larry Fink today is racing to launch the Bitcoin ETF and sees crypto as a flight to quality. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. And shout out to everyone just joining us. If you're new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button as you'll receive daily premium crypto news alerts just like this every single day. And of course, all subscribers are going to get a shout out on the screen, just like Soap 1000. I appreciate the subscription. Also, make sure to smash that like button as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. That's what's up. Now, shout out to everyone in our live chat. Good to see you. BitMatt, what it do? Gregory, Hofflin, welcome. Dream Tanks, Bud Conklin, what's up? Matthew J. Shout out to all of our moderators, Digital Dankness, Bitcoin Maximus, Streamlabs. Good to see the fam. Shout out to Steve M. tuning in from Charlotte. Matthew says, JV, always looking forward to the Crypto News Alerts show live. I appreciate that. We do this live show 7 days per week. I'm here for you. Shout out to Phil C. And again, make sure to say hello as this is a live and interactive chat. Also, let me know where you're tuning in from. Shout out to Brandon. What it do, fam? Appreciate you joining the live show. And with that being shared, welcome everyone. This is pod episode number 1443. I'm your host, JV. And today is October 27th, 2023. And naturally, we got lots to cover. So let's dive right in and kick off today's show with our market watch as we do each and every day. So you should be able to see on the screen here, Coin 360. We got Bitcoin pulling back some, just under the cusp of $34,000. We still have Ethereum, BNB, Solana, XRP, and Cardano in the green thus far for the day. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sits at 1.26 trillion with roughly 38 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. The Bitcoin dominance has been on the climb, currently at 53% even, with the Ether dominance at 17.1%. I'd love to know your thoughts. How high do you think the Bitcoin dominance is likely to climb for this bull market? Now checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, NEO is leading the pack, up 16%. And I'm not talking about NEO from the Matrix. We're talking about the crypto, trading at $8.85, followed by Injective, up 13%, trading at $13.38, followed by Floki, up 12%, trading at virtually nothing. Now, also checking out here, Crypto Bubbles, we can see the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week. Overall, it's a sea of green, which we love to see. Only a handful in the red. We have the top gainers here being NEO and Injective as well. And checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. We're currently rated a 70 in greed. Yesterday was a 71, last week a 53, which is neutral, and last month a 44 in fear. So there you have it, fam. How many of you are currently bullish on the King Crypto? Let me know and make some noise. Now let's dive into our Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. And I'll give you a hint. $40,000. Send it and let's freaking go. Again, shout out to everyone just joining us in the live chat. As you can see here, Bitcoin surfed $34,000 at the October 27th Wall Street Open as attention turned to the Bitcoin price performance against macro assets, as we can see here in the Bitcoin 1-hour candle chart. Now, data from Cointelegraph and TradingView showed Bitcoin holding steady, preserving its early week gains. Bitcoin avoided significant volatility as the weekly and monthly closes, which is a key moment for the October uptrend. And it's been a hell of an October, wouldn't you say? Quoting Dan Crypto Trades here, I think Bitcoin will hang around this range for some time. He also shared roughly 33 to 35,000 is what I'm looking at as a range. Eyes on a potential sweep of any of these levels for a quick trade, and he shows you the low range, the mid range, as well as the high range. Dan nonetheless noted that open interest had recovered near levels last seen during the sudden uptick, which sent Bitcoin to 17-month highs. And as reported, open interest highs had formed a feature of the Bitcoin price squeezes during the prior weeks. Quoting Dan Crypto Trades right here, Bitcoin open interest on Bybit has almost recovered to the level before the massive short squeeze this week. During that squeeze, we saw a 21% decrease in open interest on Bybit, which was worth $450 million. Elsewhere, on-chain monitoring resource Material Indicators flagged the downside signal on one of its proprietary trading instruments. And with two such daily signals currently in place, Material Indicators said that only a move to 38,850 would invalidate the bearish implication. And he continued, that doesn't mean we can't go there before the monthly candle closes, as he outlines here on this X post alongside this chart. Now, more optimistic perspectives came from the macroeconomic comparisons, many analysts projecting 40,000 incoming, including Crypto Calio, noting Bitcoin had outperformed the S&P considerably since September, with the odds of continued Bitcoin price upside still a good result. Quoting him here, over the course of the past month, we have finally seen the bullish decoupling from Bitcoin from equities that everyone was waiting for. That's right, Bitcoin is on its own vector, does its own thing, and it doesn't care about the rest of the market. As he shares here, while Bitcoin is up only 36% versus USD from the September lows, Bitcoin is up 48% versus the SPX, and we're now up roughly 110% for the year. Not too shabby. And in a chart he shared here comparing Bitcoin to the S&P with key recent events of the Bitcoin history marked, Calio argues that there was plenty of fuel left in the tank for a move higher to 40,000. I agree. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst. Others focus on the significance of the recent resistance levels being within days of flipping to weekly and monthly support. Quoting Matthew Highland, not sure how anyone can look at this Bitcoin chart objectively and conclude that breaking through 30,000 or 32,000 is no big deal. 100%. He also shared the last line of hope for them is the weekly and monthly closing below. So there we have it. This month is only 4 days left. And guess what is right around the corner? It's the birthday of Bitcoin. It was launched on Halloween Day, I believe, October 31st of, 2009? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm guessing that's when the Genesis block was. And lo and behold, we're only 4 days away from Halloween. And we're not too far away from November 11th, which is the official Bitcoin Day, which I declare. Maybe I'll share some more about Bitcoin Day being a national holiday here a little later on in the show. Welcome to y'all just joining us. Let me know if you're currently bullish or bearish on the King Crypto. And do you think we can continue to soaring in November with this bullish momentum? Let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. Now let's break down our next story of the day, and that's Bitcoin reaching all-time highs in many countries around the world as all fiat currencies will eventually go to zero against BTC. Check this out. The price of Bitcoin was notched to new all-time highs against some of the world's most inflationary fiat currencies. Across 30 hours over October 23rd and the 24th, the cost of buying one Bitcoin reached all-time highs when using the Argentine peso, the Nigerian naira, and the Turkish lira. Now, Lauten Kip and the Egyptian pound. Very interesting. I mean, Bitcoin's breaking out to all-time highs everywhere. However, it should be noted that the result is due to the ongoing devaluation of currencies, exacerbated by Bitcoin's recent 16% surge. Now, the Naira and the Lira fell to their lowest points against the US dollar on the 24th and the 25th, while the peso is only 0.85% off its all-time low against the US dollar. And according to the IMF, the Venezuelan bolivar currently has the highest annual inflation rate at 360%. Could you imagine living over there and having hyperinflation occur at a 360% increase month over month? That's pure insanity. Followed by the Zimbabwe dollar at 314% and the Sudanese pound at 256%, followed by the Argentine OESI at 122%. Now, the Turkish lira and the Nigerian naira came in 6th and 15th with the annual inflation rates of 51 and 25% respectively, according to the IMF data. Now, crypto observers have long seen digital assets such as Bitcoin and stablecoins as a hedge against rocketing inflation, and recent figures could bolster that narrative. Yeah, I would say. Now, Nigeria, Turkey, and Argentina boast the 2nd, 12th, and 15th highest rates of crypto adoption worldwide, according to a September 12th report by Chainalysis, including the Giga Chad and chairman and founder of MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, with inflation at 99% in Argentina. And this was back on February 15th when he made this tweet. It's 99% in Argentina, likely what the citizens of the beautiful country would benefit from Bitcoin. That's right. So aren't all these citizens in these countries where hyperinflation is breaking out moving to Bitcoin? I think that's why adoption is increasing drastically in places and countries like Nigeria. For example, Nigeria is finally becoming more welcoming to cryptos after its central bank banned local banks from providing services to crypto exchanges in February of 2021. Progress was made December of 2022 when Nigeria announced its intention to pass a bill recognizing cryptocurrencies as the capital for investment, citing the need to keep up with global practices as one of the main reasons behind its change in stance. Now, while Turkey is home of some of the most crypto-curious people, its central bank banned crypto payments for goods and services in April of 2021. It has also been working on a central bank digital currency, which we know as a CBDC, to digitalize the Turkish lira in the recent years. And as we all know, Bitcoin is the antidote to the CBDCs, so just say no to central bank digital currencies, aka programmable fiat, programmable dollars by the central bankers. Meanwhile, Argentina's inflation crisis could be influenced by the outcome of its presidential election in November, with presidential candidate Javier Milei set to face competitor Sergi Massa in a final runoff vote November 19th. That's just a few weeks out, fam. Hopefully, Milei wins the presidency because Argentina has a massive population. This would help usher in massive Bitcoin adoption. Now, Massa, who currently serves as the country's minister of the economy, wants Argentina to launch a CBDC as soon as possible to solve the country's long-lasting inflation crisis. Now, we all know it's not going to solve that. Bitcoin's the only way to solve these problems. That's why we need Javier Milei to become president. Now, quoting Peter Schiff, Argentina's present provides a glimpse into America's future, where the central bank raised interest rates 15 percentage points to 133% October 12th, but with inflation running at 138% and budget deficits and debt rising, the rate hikes will have no effect on reducing inflation. So there you have it. Now, he also voiced an intention to keep the US dollar away from Argentines, explaining that Argentine should instead be patriots and defend the Argentine peso. I think that's hogwash. That's why we need to vote Milei, fam. Milei, on the other hand, wants the US dollar to be adopted in addition to abolishing Argentina's central bank. Hey, anyone who is calling for the abolishment of a central bank is pro-Bitcoin. So that's what's up. We need pro-Bitcoin presidents like Nayib Bukele, not more presidents like corrupted mofos like Sleepy Joe. Just saying, fam. Welcome everyone just joining us in the live chat. Just want to give everyone a quick shout out. Baz Dragon, I appreciate you tuning in, fam, from the other side of the world. Shout out to all my people in the UK. Let me know, guys, where you're tuning in from. Bitcoin Imaginer says, let's frickin' go. Mike says, stick around and find out. That's what's up. Belina, what it do? What's the date? Stay tuned. We're going to be discussing all eyes on BlackRock, Bitcoin, ETF, all the dates and everything you need to know a little later on in the show. And of course, we're going to have open discussion about it as well. Shout out to Phil C, relaxing and meditation music. Appreciate the support and insights as well. And of course, shout out to Digital Dankness. Now let's break down our next breaking story of the day. And that is the richest man in crypto is CZ. It's no secret, but his fortune is getting slashed. And now there is FUD coming from Senator Cynthia Lummis. We're going to touch upon the FUD a little later, which I think is just bat-ish crazy. But nonetheless, here's the latest with the fortune of the richest man in crypto, CZ, the owner of Binance. So here we go. Binance co-founder and CEO CZ has seen his net worth slashed by almost $12 billion amid the falling trading volumes of his exchange, Binance. October 26th, the Bloomberg Billionaires Index cut Binance's revenue estimates by 38% amid a slump in the exchange volumes, which knocked CZ down to 95th place on the rich list. I think this is all by design. What are your thoughts? And I find it all interesting while the ongoing trial of SBF is taking place and he's actually testifying. Today is the last day of the court case, FYI. Now, CZ's net worth is now $17.3 billion, not too shabby, registering an 82% drop from his $96 billion peak in January of 2022. That was roughly 2 months after we hit the top of 69,000 in Bitcoin, naturally with CZ being one of the larger hodlers of Bitcoin. So this ranked him amongst the 11th most richest people in the world, which leads me to believe the first trillionaire is going to be a Bitcoiner. Don't you think so? I think the first trillionaire will surpass the fortune of Bezos, Elon, and all those other fools. Just saying. Bloomberg's index calculated Binance's revenues from spot and derivatives trading data from crypto data aggregators, CoinGecko, and CoinPoprika. And as of September, the exchange's spot trading market share had fallen for 7 consecutive months to 34%. And in January, the Binance spot market share was over 55%. Now, Binance US, its United States-based arm, also saw volumes touch new lows last month. That's due to the SEC going after them clearly. Now, CZ's plummeting net worth and Binance's fading trading volumes followed twin lawsuits from the US SEC and CFTC. Attack. Very clear. The SEC sued CZ, Binance, and Binance US in June, claiming the exchanges operated illegally, sold unregistered securities, and mishandled customer assets, with CZ named as their controlling person. Now, the CFTC suit in March claimed Binance did not properly register with the regulator. CZ and Binance reject both the regulator's allegations and seek to dismiss both lawsuits. Now, the recent fall pales compared to CZ's rival, Bankman-Fried, who saw his $16 billion fortune effectively wiped out November of 2022 after FTX disclosed this liquidity crisis just days before it filed for bankruptcy. And what makes this also very interesting, of course, Bankman-Fried was considered one of the richest in the world, also on the Forbes rich list. And then just like that, in a matter of weeks after FTX collapsed, they filed bankruptcy, and now he's worth a big fat zero and most likely going to be facing some prison time and some other, harsh punishments for the crimes he committed. We'll see how that all plays out. Hopefully we have some insights by next week on how the court trial has gone, as it's been ongoing for the past 2 to 3 weeks. And with that being shared, fam, now let's break down our next story of the day and discuss buy Bitcoin searches are going parabolic, which is a sign of the times that the bull market is here. It's like deja vu all over again. Reminded me of 2020. What are your thoughts, fam? But let's break this story down. Then we'll dive into the latest Cynthia Lummis FUD and BlackRock ETF news, along with their date of when the ETF is likely to get the approval, followed by some live Q&A. Here we go. Google searches for buy Bitcoin have surged worldwide amid the major crypto rally, with searches in the UK growing by more than 800% in the last week. Now, how many of you are tuning in right now from the UK? Let me know. And how does it feel, the sentiment of Bitcoin in your country? You know what I mean? Let me know. According to research from Crypto Gambling TV, the search term buy Bitcoin spiked by a staggering 826% in the UK over the course of 7 days. Quoting them here, the remarkable surge in buy Bitcoin searches in the UK, combined with the crypto's resurgence, underscores the growing interest and potential impact of traditional financial institutions' involvement of the world of digital assets. Now, while users in the UK led the pack, there was also noticeable increases in searches relating to purchasing Bitcoin from web users all across the globe. According to data from Google Trends, searches from users in the United States for "should I buy Bitcoin now" increased by more than 250%. Let's go. While more niche searches, including "can I buy Bitcoin on Fidelity," increased by over 3,100% in the last week. That's because Fidelity is massively bullish on the King crypto, and they're the ones that put forth the billion-dollar Bitcoin price prediction, which I covered here in the show. And zooming out further, the search term "is it a good time to buy Bitcoin?" saw a 100% plus gain worldwide over the last week. And in comparison, searches for BlackRock Bitcoin ETF also jumped 250%, demonstrating the broader enthusiasm for information relating to BlackRock Spot Bitcoin ETF, which is currently pending approval, which all eyes are on the ETF right now. The sudden uptick of interest comes amid a drastic increase in the price of Bitcoin over the past fortnight, with Bitcoin briefly surpassing the value of 35,000 on October 24th. In fact, I think the local high is roughly 35,200. The excitement appears closely linked to the approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF, which many pundits believe will unleash a fresh wave of buying from the institutions. Now, senior ETF analysts Eric Balchunas and James Seyfarth have pinned the probability of an approval at 90% by January 10th of 2024. Quoting James Seyfarth here on X, "I have gotten a lot of questions regarding my current view on spot Bitcoin ETFs over the last couple of weeks. This is the first section of the note I put out yesterday with Eric Balchunas." Now, obviously, he shared there is a 90% chance of the approval for ARK's January 10th deadline, which is going to be coming up here soon. And at this time, we have Bitcoin up now more than 27% for the past 2 weeks as October continues in full effect. And guess what? The month is yet to be over. So October for the win. Let's freaking go. Now let's break down our next breaking news of the day. And I'm a little shocked to hear the FUD that Lummis has turned into a traitor. She has been, what's the word we're looking for here that Max Keiser loves to use? The word is she has been corrupted. So yeah, Max Keiser calling her out. So much respect to the high priest of Bitcoin. I don't respect anyone pushing this Bitcoin FUD and narrative. Obviously, it's not a good look, and it goes to show you that any of the senators can be corrupted, just like Cynthia Lummis. So let's start with the actual tweet, which got this whole thing started. I think I have it saved somewhere here. Probably don't, or maybe I do. Anyways, Max, yeah, I'll get into Max's tweet in a minute. I think it's going to show the initial tweet in the main story. So here we go. Cynthia Lummis, crypto proponent representing Wyoming in the United States Senate, called the U.S. Department of Justice to consider charges against crypto exchange Binance following the terrorist group Hamas attack on Israel. Again, nothing more than FUD, as this has already been debunked, fam. In an October 26th letter to the U.S. Attorney General, Lummis and Representative French Hill urged that Justice Department officials to reach charging decision on Binance and expeditiously conclude investigations of allegedly illicit activities involving Tether USDT, which we know is the real deal. They're pro-Bitcoin, and they're the opposite of USDC and Circle, who are anti-Bitcoin and lead many of these Bitcoin FUD attacks. So do note that. That's why Max Keiser's pissed off at Cynthia Lummis. They're attacking Tether, which is a good actor. The two lawmakers remarked following Hamas launching a coordinated attack against Israel October 7th, which they suggest was supported in part by illicit crypto transactions providing significant terrorism financing. Quoting her here, "We urge the DOJ to carefully evaluate the extent to which Binance and Tether are providing material support and resources to support terrorism through violations of applicable sanctions laws of the Bank Secrecy Act," she shared. Now, to that end, we strongly support swift action by the Department of Justice against Binance and Tether to choke off sources of funding the terrorists currently targeting Israel. And again, this has already been debunked. There's no crypto funding for these terrorists whatsoever. So she's just making this up. It seems like a coordinated FUD attack, obviously, clearly, against CZ, Binance, and Tether USDT. USDT. Now, the letter by Lummis, a Bitcoin supporter of crypto legislation, or at least in the past in Congress, and Hill, for the chair of the Subcommittee on Digital Assets, Financial Technology, and Inclusion, echoed sentiments expressed by the one we all hate, Senator Elizabeth Warren, who sold her soul a long time ago and is also anti-Bitcoin FYI, and other lawmakers linking crypto payments to terrorist activities, which you and I know is nothing more than FUD. And in contrast to Warren, however, the two Republican lawmakers directed the Justice Department to focus on bad actors, in this case, including Binance and Tether. In my humble opinion, CZ is a good guy. He's been around in the industry for a long time and for a reason. Sam Bankman-Fried is clearly the bad guy, so what's up with the distraction and pointing the fingers at him while SBF is on trial testifying? Things that make you go, Quoting them here, "We must be careful not to paint all crypto asset intermediaries as suspect when a small handful of bad actors use them for nefarious purposes," she said in the letter. "Many crypto asset intermediaries seek to comply with U.S. sanctions and money laundering laws, correctly viewing the regulations as necessary to unlock the promise of crypto assets and distributed ledger technology." Now, in the wake of the October 7th attacks, crypto exchange Binance froze accounts linked to Hamas following a request from Israeli law enforcement. However, Lummis and Hill labeled this action as insufficient after the fact, as the exchange allowed terrorist groups to conduct business or was willfully blind in doing so. They made similar allegations against Tether for knowingly facilitating violations of applicable sanction laws. Quoting them again, "While some reports claim Binance is now cooperating with Israel law enforcement, this is immaterial to criminal culpability because Binance is only doing so after allowing its exchange to be used by terrorist organizations, and only after they have been caught." Now, on October 25th, blockchain analytics firm Elliptic released a statement directed to U.S. lawmakers of the media saying there was no evidence Hamas received a significant volume of crypto payments to fund the attacks against Israel. Again, nothing more than FUD, already debunked. So it's very alarming that a senator would do this and call for this unnecessary reaction from the Department of Justice. Now, compared to the millions of dollars claimed by other media outlets, Elliptic said on the Hamas link campaign, and they raised only $21,000 since the October 7th attack. So once and for all, nothing more than FUD. Much respect for Max Kaiser calling her out. The Wall Street Journal story was quickly debunked. Amen. The allegations are risible. The only explanation is that Senator Cynthia Lummis has been corrupted. Facts. Not surprising. She has never fully understood Bitcoin, and now we know she is a gun for hire for the fiat money terrorists and the central bankers who are the real terrorists. Sad, but not surprising. I will pray for her. He also shared, hey, and he tags them, which I respect and love so much. Hey, Senator Warren and Cynthia Lummis, Bitcoin miners like this guy are sick of your grandstanding, treasonous BS and warmongering act. And he is moving to El Salvador and taking his hash rate with him. The U.S. is suffering because you ish clowns are greedy, unpatriotic. What? Have you no shame? Hashtag disgusting. And he points out North Star Mining, who's going to be moving to El Salvador and getting the hell out of the United States because of this unlawful regulation by the regulators, senators, and all the FUD attacking Bitcoin. Well, at least we got one positive news out of all of this. It's clear we can see who the enemies of Bitcoin truly are. You know what I'm saying? And before we break down our breaking story of the day, discuss BlackRock Bitcoin ETF and the approval date, first, massive shout out to everyone in that live chat. Shout out to $0 G-Ro. What it do, my fam? Crypto Surge in the building. Smash that like. Shout out to D Big Show. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Much love, much respect. Bitcoin is an amplifier, says Matthew J. If you're good, it helps you become great. If you're bad, it exposes you as a scammer and a criminal. Amen. I love that. Bitcoin is absolutely an amplifier, kind of like a magnifying glass. Bad people are going to do evil, and good people can do great things, like we see with, Nayib Bukele, Max Kaiser, Ricardo Salinas out of Mexico, and all the great people leading the charge right now. You know what I mean? Shout out to Miles, Passive Income AI. What it do, my fam? Good to see you guys in the house. Bitcoin Imagineer, welcome. Kev Machine, welcome Kevin. Robert Morel, good to see you. Israel Henry, what it do, fam? Robert Morel says, still early. We sure are. We're early as all heck. We're going to be seeing trillions of dollars entering the Bitcoin space this bull market. I truly believe that. So many bullish catalysts, from the Bitcoin halving to the spot ETF to the supply shock incoming. Did you know, depending upon which analytics tool you look at, the Bitcoin supply in the exchanges right now is like at an all-time low. It's roughly 1.6 million. I've been saying 2 million. Well, it's actually much lower. Predictions, estimates, I should say, are between 1.6 million and 1.8 million, meaning there's even less Bitcoin on the exchanges than we previously thought, which means all of these major asset managers are going to be fighting to get their hands on them because they can't offer spot Bitcoin ETF products unless they're holding on to the underlying asset, because in the Bitcoin ETF market is true price discovery, something that has never existed in human history in an ETF market before. And that's because Bitcoin has a finite limited supply and it's perfect money. Shout out to Zach Hudson. I appreciate you, fam. Fairground Fun Fairs in the UK. Let's freaking go. Wisdom quotes. I appreciate it. Love your relentless work. Day Nada fam. Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the support. Hello from the Philippines. Shout out to Joseph. I appreciate you. Danny, what it do? Sup, brother? Gregory, good to see you. Says great show. Appreciate the feedback. Thanks for interacting and making this fun. We're going to be doing a live interactive Q&A session here in just a moment, but you know what time it is. Now let's break down our featured story of the day. BlackRock, Bitcoin, ETF, Larry Fink. What's going on? When are we likely to see this Bitcoin spot ETF approval by the SEC? And how will this likely impact the Bitcoin market and price action? Let's discuss it, shall we? Let's start with right here, actually. First and foremost, did you know the BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, this handsome gentleman right here, considered one of the most powerful men in the world because he controls the most powerful company in the world, or asset manager with 10 trillion in assets under management. 6 years ago, as of yesterday, he said, index of money laundering, that's what Bitcoin is for. Now today, Larry Fink is racing to launch the Bitcoin ETF and sees crypto as a flight to quality, as he recently shared on Fox TV. Now check this out. BlackRock Bitcoin game plan. Number one, BlackRock realizes Bitcoin is here to stay. Facts. BlackRock creates FUD and dumps the Bitcoin price. Facts. Number three, retail investors sell Bitcoin. Real talk. Then BlackRock buys Bitcoin. And this is where we currently are in this cycle. They're mass accumulating. And more than likely, that's why the price action has been on the rise. They're setting up their ETF. And in order to do so, they got to be accumulating sats. Now, ETF launches, which is going to be the next stage we're going to be talking about, followed by the Bitcoin bull market starting. Game on. How many of you took advantage of Bitcoin and are currently front-running BlackRock and the major institutions? Holla at your boy. Now, also, as pointed out here, within 75 days, the first Bitcoin spot ETF will be launched. That's because January 10th is the deadline for ARC21. So here's what Crypto Rover has to share. In exactly 75 days, the final deadline for ARC's Invest Bitcoin spot ETF will arrive. The reality is that the SEC cannot reject ARC's ETF and then approve the BlackRock spot ETF. So considering that Grayscale has already won a lawsuit against the SEC, it is likely that all the spot ETFs will be approved before ARK invests. Therefore, we can anticipate the introduction of the first spot Bitcoin ETF within the next 99 days. Now, I've been telling you guys to expect the unexpected. Why is that? Because that's the deadline. It can get approved sooner, of course, way sooner, when not everyone's anticipating it. That's right. BlackRock Plan iShares Bitcoin Trust is currently listed on the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, known as the DTCC. Now, industry watchers pointed this out recently, and the plan fund ticker is IBTC, so keep an eye out on that. This is according to the latest listing. The DTCC spokesperson told Blockwork that the proposed ETF was added to the list back in August. The inclusion in the eligibility file to both active funds and potential ETF launches is standard practice, the representative noted, adding it is not indicative of regulatory approval. Now, Bloomberg Intelligence senior analyst Eric Balchunas said on Monday that the IBTC is the first proposed spot Bitcoin ETF listed on DTCC, a financial market infrastructure giant that processes trillions upon trillions of dollars in securities transactions on a daily basis. Now, a DTCC subsidiary, the National Securities Clearing Corporation, has a process for clearing the ETFs, which includes the ability to review the ETF's portfolio constituents, which is also used to automate the creation and redemption of ETF shares and their subsequent settlement, according to the company. Now, a representative for DTCC did not immediately return a request for comment, but a BlackRock spokesperson said the firm was unable to comment due to filing restrictions. Now, it basically means because they're filing, they got to be very careful about what they share publicly. Now, BlackRock amended its Bitcoin ETF proposal October 18th, roughly a week ago. Then Scott Johnson, an associate at Davis Polk and Wardrell, noted an updated S1 filing, including a QUSIP for the product, which is a 9-character code, which is needed to identify a North American security for the clearing and settlement of trades. The filing also contained language that seed creation baskets were to be purchased in October, subject to conditions, but did not specify a date or an amount. Here is a keyword right here. Seed creation. Seed creation means they're starting to buy Bitcoin right now, and that's probably why the market is pumping. As Eric Balchunas shared here on X, let's share a couple of his recent tweets regarding this. Background: seeding an ETF is when initial funding is provided, typically by a bank or a broker-dealer, used to purchase a few creation units, in this case, Bitcoin, in exchange for ETF shares, which can be traded in open market on day one. And he notes here, seeding is typically not a lot of money, just enough to get the ETF going. So I wouldn't read this as, oh my God, BlackRock is buying a ton of Bitcoin at all, but more the fact they are doing it and disclosing it, showing another step in the process of launching. And I think he makes a great point there. Now, definitely notable, BlackRock to be leading the charge on these logistics, seeding ticker and the DTCC, as they are the most powerful company in the world. After all, again, with 10 trillion in assets under management. Others had amended their Bitcoin ETF apps recently prior to the BlackRock doing the same. And ARK Invest and 21 Shares updated their Bitcoin ETF filing October 11th. Bloomberg intelligence analysts pointed to various additions, such as the clarification that the trust assets could or would not be commingled with corporate or other customer assets. We also have ARK CEO Cathie Wood, who recently shared on CNBC in an interview last week that the amendment followed dialogue with the SEC, which is a great sign that the approval is incoming. It's inevitable, fam, just a matter of time. The filing amendments are not only the apparent progress being made in the quest for the Bitcoin ETF, we also have Grayscale, the largest hodler of Bitcoin. They currently control over 600,000 BCC. They filed last week to register shares for their Bitcoin trust. We know GBTC under the Securities Act of 1933 as part of their new step in the process to ultimately convert their GBTC trust into an official spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, the DC Circuit Court of Appeals just this Monday formalized its August ruling that the SEC rejecting GBTC conversion to an ETF but approving Bitcoin future funds was arbitrary, and we know it's not in the best interest of the investors. The firm looks forward to continuing to work constructively with the SEC to convert GBTC to an ETF. A Grayscale spokesperson told Blockworks, adding, "We intend to move as expeditiously as possible." So there you have it, fam. How many of you think BlackRock is likely to get the green light first from the SEC? Let me know. How many of you think it could be Grayscale or ARK 21? Or how many of you think it'll all be collectively the green light for all the major asset managers at the same time to be offering the spot Bitcoin ETF product, kind of like a domino effect? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. And now let's dive into our live Q&A, fam. Let's freaking go. Shout out to Felix Hopkins. What it do? Japo 420, welcome. Crypto Lucian, good to see you. Love the show, JV. Here we go. You already know. Shout out to Pierre. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel, guys. Chris, what up, man? Run, Bitcoin, run. You already know. This Bitcoin bull will be massive. Just hang in there. I've held since 2021, says Japo 420. Been a long bear market, but Bitcoin is up 100% this year already. That's right. We're north of 100%, and this party is just getting started. Doesn't it feel a little like deja vu? You were here in 2021, so you saw the Bitcoin price action run from 16,000 to freaking 69,000 within a matter of 60 days. So we all know the potential once we start getting these God candles incoming. Send it. Let's go. We're going to the moon. Yeah, Altura and Wilder World Super Gaming Project. Word. Chris Markification, what it do? Crypto Surge, Brooklyn in the building, Detroit in the house. Shout out to Gary Bigos. Welcome, Dutch Hodler. Let's go to the moon, then Mars. Why not? Let's go. Send it, right? What up, guys? What up, what up, what up? Boz Dragon, I have the feeling the ETFs will be approved this year. Very doable. The deadline, again, is January 10th for ARC 21. I'm anticipating approval this year as well. I think the calm before the storm, and we're in the calm right now, fam. So take advantage of it if you can. The price is perfect. Don't wait too long. 100%. You have a massive discount right now, more than 50%. Discount from the top. So I'd say this is a hell of a time to be stacking sats. Would you rather purchase Bitcoin at a 50% discount, or would you rather pay full price like the masses, because they're going to be lined up, including your own mother, to buy Bitcoin when we return to all-time highs, because it's going to be on everyone's mind in just a few months. I guarantee that, especially everyone in the financial markets. Michael Saylor will be the first trillionaire, predicts Crypto Surge. I wouldn't be surprised. I believe MicroStrategy will absolutely become a $1 trillion company. I don't know Michael Saylor's personal Bitcoin holdings. I just know as a company, they collectively hold over 152,000 BTC, and now their investments are in the green and they're killing it. I believe they purchased their average Bitcoin DCA costs at roughly 29,000, so anything above 30,000, massive gains for the Saylor. Pluto, says Jason Bitmarch, send it. Let's freaking go. Turncoat. Let's go. Yeah, bring it, fam. Jason, what it do? What's new? I can't wait to have this party. And me and you, brother, from another mother. That's right. A reminder, we're going to be having a $100,000 fiesta party. Shout out to Kevin C. I appreciate you subscribing, fam. We're going to have a fiesta party when Bitcoin hits 100,000. We'll start planning the details and the dates once we eclipse the all-time high of 69,000. Make sure you're in our CNA Discord group, which can be found at discord.cryptonewsalerts.net, and seize the moment and take advantage of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, appreciate you guys. Matthew says, if you're interested, there is an opportunity on the Fed website to leave a comment against the FinCEN law they're trying to pass that will take away private transactions. Good stuff. Well, good to note. If anyone's interested in helping out with that, make sure to check that out on their website, of course. $0 G Row. What it do, fam? Appreciate you guys. What's new? What's popping? Shout out to Chris V. Good to see you. Appreciate you tuning in. Much love and much respect. You know what I mean? What else are you guys most excited for this week in the markets as we're ending October and entering November? Also note, not only is October historically bullish, November is as well. So for us to be pumping the way we are in October, this can continue over and flow into November, setting the scene for an epic, you know what I mean, December. And who knows what Christmas may bring. You got to ask Santa. How many of you have been good folks and not naughty, expecting something great? Let me know. Yeah, guys, you guys rock. I think game over for the Bears, says relaxing. It does seem to be this way. I wholeheartedly believe in JV's message of Bitcoin. Thank you, Dankness. I appreciate you. Shout out to Digital Dankness for doing a fantastic job behind the scenes with production and doing a lot of stuff to help with the show. And of course, he has a fantastic channel I recommend everyone subscribe to, which can be found at, my mind went blank, but it's, oh my God, Coin IQ. Sorry about that. But yeah, check out Coin IQ. It's a great channel, fam. Y'all appreciate the content he's putting out there on a consistent basis. Moonvember. That's right. October is almost over as we enter Moonvember. You already know. Yeah, the reincarnation of No Money G. Tell me, what up, Nico K? What it do? What's up, Raymond Anas? Welcome, welcome. And that's right. If you're gaining value out of today's episode, the greatest compliment you can do is smash that like button, as it helps out tremendously with a YouTube algorithm. And what do you think of the new cap? I had to represent the Bitcoin orange, so you already know. I'm digging it. I love it. I love the bright orange. Now I got like the Bitcoin pill on my head, it feels like. You know what I mean? So just a reminder to orange pill everybody. Portfolio is only up 3%. I am still waiting, says Kev Machine. Well, hodl be thy name, fam. You're at the right place at the right time. If you can hodl over the course of the next 4 to 8 years, you may be saying, yo, my portfolio is up 3,000%. You gotta have patience, fam. You know what I mean? Never thought I'd say it, but I'm a student of loan and profit, or loan through profit, but never selling, says Felix. Yeah, sometimes those brain farts strike when you least expect it, especially when you go live, right? When you go live every day, you understand where I'm coming from. Brain farts, they suck. Where'd you get that hat, JV? I think I just Googled orange Bitcoin hat. And this is bright orange, and it's rare. I didn't find any other bright orange hats. They're all like dark orange. I'm like, nah, I want bright orange. I want orange pill orange. And I found it. So you should be able to find it as well. The company, I think it says it here. Let me switch my camera angle. It's merch and those Roman numerals, whatever Roman numerals those are. So if you type in merch, that Roman numeral, Bitcoin, you should be able to find the hat. You know what I mean? Should be easy to find. So you guys, shout out from Germany. Shout out Tobias. How you been? Is this the same Tobias? We've been friends for a long time from Facebook, or is this a different Tobias? Let me know, because I know someone named Tobias. Where'd you get that hat? Now you know. Just Google that company, Bitcoin hat. And what I like about it, they delivered it in a box, so it didn't get crushed through the shipping, and it came within a week. So, and I think it was 29 bucks. So if anyone's looking to get the same hat, feel free. Also, there's a merch store. My merch store doesn't have this hat because I just bought this hat. But nonetheless, if you want to help support the channel, check out the merch store. It can be found at merch.cryptonewsalerts.net. I greatly appreciate that to my fam. Larry the Lizard is all in on the crypto finally. That's right. #1 pack attack. We're talking about Lawrence, aka Larry Fink. To the moon, says Team Renas. That's what's up. Shout out to the mods. $0 G-Row. I appreciate the super chat contribution. Much love, much respect. Thanks for helping to support the show. DC Bitcoin dropped below 30,000 to buy one more time. A 30,000 drop is very probable. I'd say sub 20, I don't see on the cards anymore, but anything can happen. So I tell people, anticipate and expect the unexpected. Most analysts are going to tell you, oh, Bitcoin's definitely going to go down. There's no way it can just keep rising. So short the Bitcoin. No, I'm not Solaway or Data Dash or any of these perma bears. I like to keep it real. Be prepared for the bearish scenario. Bearish scenario means you have an opportunity to stack sats even cheaper. Example, dropping back and testing 30,000. Be prepared for that just in case it happens. However, also be prepared and have enough sats in your portfolio in case we just keep on surging, you know what I mean, to 40,000 above and beyond, and we never go back down ever again, you know what I mean, in this $30,000 range. You want to be prepared for that scenario. You don't want to not be in the game and be on the sidelines, because then you'll be the biggest loser if we go up. So if you want to hedge yourself against what if we potentially drop, what if we potentially rise, be prepared for all scenarios. That way, if Bitcoin's pumping, you're a winner. When Bitcoin's dropping, you're taking advantage of the dip, your dollar cost averaging, and you're a winner. Meaning Bitcoiners should always be winners. If you get Bitcoin, you're always winning. You're never depressed, because regardless of what happens, you're covered, right? Nothing can go wrong. If it drops, great opportunity to buy more. If it goes up, at least I already have a position and I'm benefiting from it and I'm not on the sidelines. That's the motto. That's the theory. That's how I think. Also, I encourage everyone to have a long-term perspective if you're going to be an investor into Bitcoin, right? Every hodler of 4 years or longer is in the green, meaning if you could have the patience to not touch your Bitcoin and hold it on, for example, a cold storage wallet device such as a Trezor or Ledger, then you're golden, right? But patience, a lot of people don't have those patience. They chase the next pump and most get wrecked and dump. It just is what it is. But most of you who have been around for 4 years or longer understand the cyclical nature of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. You're in for a hell of a ride. I'll just leave it at that. Passive income AI, let's get it. Let's all get the orange hats for the Puerto Rico party. Yeah, if that's the case, we need a custom crypto news alerts orange hat if we're all going to buy them. Just saying, help support the show, fam. Just take the feeling you get when you get to pump it and remember that it will happen again, 100%. Shout out to Bitcoin Trini. What it do, fam? Appreciate you tuning in. OG Backroad Crypto Bootleg, welcome, fam. And today we went live a little earlier than typical at 12 p.m. Tomorrow, we're back to our standard time at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's just because Thursdays and Fridays, I pick up my daughter from school and I got to be there by a certain time, hence why I go live a little early. But note, tomorrow, back to 4 p.m. Eastern for the live show. Now what we're going to do, we're actually going to be ending our YouTube stream and we're going to continue with the after party uncensored crypto news alerts Q&A over on Rumble. So I highly encourage everyone to join us on Rumble where I can speak freely and uncensored. My link is rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net or simply go to Rumble. You'll notice the channel now has over 1,000 subscribers, which I greatly appreciate it. So with that being shared, deuces, YouTube. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Now let's all head on over to Rumble and continue with the uncensored after party. Deuces, YouTube. YouTube, I am out. All right, fam. Now let's head